There are still 2 episodes of Survivor, David vs. Goliath, left to air, but we're already certain that the season 37 cast is one of the best in series history. From Angelina Keeley's Jacket Woes to Christian Hubicki and Gabby Pascuzzi's Nerdmance, the current cast has brought the lulls, tears and some iconic tribal council votes. But are WTF moments the only thing that matter in determining whether you like a cast or not? There's also style of play, chemistry between contestants and whether or not the best characters are also the best players. How do you define the best Survivor cast of all time? Below, take our poll to decide which is the best overall cast in Survivor history. To help you decide, we've narrowed the field down to our top 8 most legendary casts and offer a brief analysis of what makes them our favorites. If we didn't include your pick in the poll, vote different cast, and let us know in the comments which one we left out. Season 37, David vs. Goliath. What the Davids and Goliaths did better than anyone else was not get bogged down by original tribal lines. Instead, the Davids broed out with the Goliaths, Christian, John Hennigan and Dan Rengering's Chacho alliance, and each side joined in efforts to unanimously vote their own allies out, by Elizabeth Olsen and Alec Merlino. Nick Wilson was saved from being the first eliminated by the medevac of Pascuzzi, and now he's in the final 6 with a good shot of winning. But most importantly, this is the season we met Angelina, beggar of jackets, queen of negotiating and the loudest player I've ever seen to successfully remain under the radar. Season 33, Millennials vs. Gen X. Between Adam Klein's mother's battle with cancer, David Wright's struggle with anxiety, and the moment when Brett LaBelle came out to Zeke Smith, who himself later came out as trans on season 38, this might be one of the most emotionally driven seasons of the show. The cast was, needless to say, very open about their personal lives, and it created the rare situation where most of the final contenders had made huge personal achievements in the game. Then, of course, we were also introduced to Michaela Bradshaw, a fierce physical competitor and provider of some of the best tribal council reactions we're likely to ever see. Season 28, Cagayan Chaos Cass. McQuillan's hectic gameplay is nearly enough to make any season a best of, but we must remember that she began her first season alongside Jatia Taylor, the woman that dumped most of their tribe's rice out in the first episode when she learned that they may be voting her out. And although Wu Wong became a disappointment when he chose loyalty over a shot at winning, Tony Vlachis and, later in Game Changers, Sarah Lacina are 2 respectable winners to come from one season. Season 20, Heroes vs. Villains. The only wholly all-star cast I'm willing to consider great this season not only pits some of the best players against each other, but is also one of the few thematic seasons that actually works. The hero and villain tropes of reality TV are commonplace now, with a lot of people trying hard to be one or the other, but here we had the real deal. Original heroes Colby Donaldson and Rupert Boneham versus legit villains Parvati Shallow and Russell Hantz, and a giant handful of others that blurred the lines between good and evil. Sandra Diaz Twine, Jerry Manthe and Siri Fields. Season 16, Micronesia. Bringing together a tribe of all-stars and pitting them against a tribe of super fans was a brilliant idea, and thanks in large part to the Blind Sides masterminded by Black Widow Brigade of Parvati, Amanda Kimmel, Siri, Natalie Bolton and Alexis Jones. Together, that alliance convinced a naive Eric Reichenbach to give away his own immunity, Jason Siska to bequeath a fake idol stick to Eliza Orleans and their ally Ozzy Lust to not even bring his hidden idol to the tribal council, where they voted him out. Season 13, Cook Islands. At the time, dividing the tribes by race was a controversial decision, but by the end it didn't matter because it had resulted in an embarrassment of riches of characters that lived well beyond the lifespan of just this season. After this season we saw Parvati go from coattail rider to one of the best strategists of all time. Ozzy attempt redeem his loss not once but 3 more times, and Jonathan Penner and Candace Woodcock both returned 2 more times. Season 7, Pearl Islands. Putting aside that we think Burton Roberts is the hottest guy to ever play the game, The pirate-themed season also introduced us to the show's only two-time champion Sandra, one of its most liked players ever, Rupert, and the most notorious liar Johnny Fairplay. There's also Lillian Morris, the one that made the most of the Outcast twist by reaching second place, and Andrew Savage, the one that made the least of it by being ousted by her vengeance at the start of the merge. Season 2, The Australian Outback, put it succinctly, literally half of this cast went on to star in a future season. That's probably because they provided some truly iconic moments this season. Colby and Jerry's on again, off again, like you now, hate you now relationship. Colby's honorable decision to take Tina Wesson to the finale, where he lost to her, Michael Scoop, and falling in the fire to become the show's first medevac. Alicia Calloway and Kimmy Kappenberg's fight over chickens and fingers, and who could forget the rumor that Kel Gleason smuggled beef jerky into the game? See exclusive predictions. Who will win Survivor? Be sure to make your predictions to influence our reality TV racetrack odds. You can keep changing your predictions until just before the next live episode airs on CBS. You'll compete to win a spot on our leaderboard and eternal bragging rights. See our contest rules and sound off with other fans in our reality TV forum. Read more Gold Derby entertainment news.